Welcome. Ooh, that's welcome. Welcome. We're talking about how to interest middle schoolers in STEM and using drones as a tool to do it. And it's a fantastic program, we think, and we've developed it. First of all, this is Grady Robotics Team, G3, wave guys, okay, and this is something that we have developed ourselves. Now, I'm trying to figure out where everybody belongs. I know we have a team from Fort Worth, and you're a FRC team, and Arizona here, you're FRC, right? Yeah, okay. Is everybody FRC? Okay. That makes life a little easier. Oh, I'm sorry. FLL, good, good. We want to talk to you. FLL, good. Okay, great. I didn't know who was going to show up, so if I had a bunch of kids, I was going to say, hey, we have drones. Wouldn't you like to learn how to fly a drone and make it and learn all the stuff that makes it work? And of course, they're going to say yes. Now, to y'all FLL folks, I'm an FLL person also. I hosted the first team in Georgia more years ago than I want to think, and I've been active ever since. And I think FLL is a great program, fantastic program. What we have doing is sort of FLL on steroids, best I can tell. And it dovetails with FLL exactly. Our first teams were FLL teams, and as soon as FLL was over, they went into our drone program. The other thing that's sort of interesting is that we complement each other. In FLL, you have strategy, programming, teamwork, things you stress. What we're stressing is more the engineering side of it, with the engineering of building a drone. And kids can learn this. And you also learn the physics. I mean, they're going to have an idea what voltage, current, power, wattage, thrust, these engineering concepts, and how they actually relate to each other. And they can learn this at the middle school level. And it's a lot of fun. Now, the FRC guys, do y'all participate in FLL program as an outreach? You do, some. It's a fantastic thing. We do, we've done it for a number of years. And we also took on the Drones for Good, we created it. And a couple of neat things about it. You have a chance to learn everything about drones too. You get to have the fun the same as other kids, okay? That's one of the important parts. It's also great chairmanship material. We got here last year because what we were doing with Drones for Good, we've won a chairman's award and everything else. It looks good. And I guess the last thing, and I shouldn't tell you this, if you do it right, you'll make money doing it. So with that, let me tell you how we got started in this. A number of years back, our first year, we had an exchange student from Germany named Felix. And he went back and finished school and started a software business. And he comes over here about once a year. And we always get together and have an adult beverage or two. And we were talking about drones once, and he didn't know anything about them. I said, they can be programmed. Well, he went back and he came back and said, hey, we're doing all this neat stuff in Germany or in Europe. We're programming to do all this neat stuff. And he said, would you like one? Well, 35 milliseconds later, I said, sure, we'll take one, but only if you will come and teach us how to use it. And he did. He said, I'll come for a couple days, and he spent a week teaching our group. And that's how our team started. After that, we got involved with some applications with the MARTA Police Department. Y'all don't know about that, but that's MARTA is a transportation, just like y'all have, or is in Houston. And they were just getting into drones, and they were interested in talking because we had some experience, and they had some experience, and we could share experiences and figure out what makes sense. So we got really interested in applications for drones at that point in time. Looking for something else to do, I found a contest online. It was designed for drone enthusiasts. This is before all the rules and regulations were out, to help nonprofits. Well, we said, hey, we're a nonprofit, and we do applications. We just apply for it. And it's basically a chance for our kids to make a video to tell what they're doing, you know, to show their parents and the team. And I went ahead and sent it in, and I got a telephone call and said, hey, you're semifinalist in a national competition, and we'd like for you to come to Oregon. I said, that's nice. It said, and compete. That's nice. I said, and Intel's going to pay your way, and it's all free. Yes, we'll take it. So that's how we got into the Oregon contest, and we were competing against no high schoolers, graduate students, one Furman, some students, and most of them are graduate. And that was a great experience. We presented a lot for a day, and then we flew in a competition, and we won the People's Choice Award, which is the talking part, and we won second overall. Now, all this is just leading up to the point that on the way back to the airport, and the kids are really high on the experience, as you would imagine, and they said, hey, we already do FLL, and FLL is a great program. Why can't we take what we've been learning in here and mix it with FLL and make a tremendous program for middle schoolers? Thought and said, yeah, if you want to put the effort in, let's do it. And that's how our program was formed. And it takes many aspects of what we learned, everything from flying obstacle courses, doing search and rescue, a lot of basic hovering stuff, and we rolled it all into our program. And I'd like to show you, if you don't mind, a video from last year's. While they're looking for it, we're also a student-led team. They let me stand up here and talk, but I'm going to turn the mic over to them, and they're going to finish it, and they're going to tell you all about our program. Which one?
GPUs were originally developed for graphics. That's where the T comes from, the GPU, graphical processing unit. And rather than tell you why that tends to be a parallel,
The goal of the drones for
I want to play another video that illustrates it.
The goal of the Drones for Good project is to educate students in a more exciting way through STEM. Essentially, it's taking the model of the FIRST system, like FIRST LEGO League and FIRST Robotics in general, and turning it into a more aerial platform. So it's giving kids a different avenue for STEM education.
I just love that it's getting more people involved, younger people involved and excited about science and technology, because it's so easy to go from playing with this cool piece of technology and the cool capabilities to, hey, this is how a thrust vector works, and this is why it moves forward, and this is what keeps it in the air. And it makes that information relatable immediately.
It's 20 teams, 16 of them are at-risk schools or in-need schools, and the kids are having a great time. They're competing with their drones that they made. The kids that are organizing the event from Grady High School are learning, getting great experience for running an event and doing all the aspects of that. I think overall it's a very successful event.
So the way the competition works is there are 3 parts. You have the flight competition, project judging, and technical judging. Flight, you have 4 different games, anything from an obstacle course to popping balloons with your drone. And then project judging, you actually have to do a research project on how drones can be used for good in the community.
It's not just about the drone, it's about teamwork and making sure everyone has a role to play. And then there's also the research project part, which helps you learn more about drones, and it's fun to do because you get to meet new people as well.
drones are in the news every day now. So they get to experience all that, tie it to what they're seeing on the news, tie it to what the FAA is doing, learning all of those laws, and there's so much more to it than, you know, electricity and laws of physics and learning to fly and doing the fun stuff.
This is high school students seeing a need for a program like this in middle school, and also seeing the potential for something that excites them to really get other kids excited at a younger age.
All right. So, hello everyone. I'm Zoe Nichols. I'm the student lead of our Drones for Good project this year. Drones for Good is an event that we run. We give the kids 6 weeks to build and fly and program a drone made out of Connects. As it said, we have 3 parts of our project. Excuse me. We have the flight program, the flight challenge, the design challenge, and the technical challenge of the project. For the design or technical part of the program, we have where the students have to get in front of judges and basically talk about their design process and hold it. Okay, sorry. They go in front of a group of judges and they have to explain their design process. The audio is really weird in here. Okay.
No, way out in front.
So that's the technical design part of the program. The other part is the project. They have to research a problem they find in their community that can be solved using UAV technology. That's unmanned aerial vehicle. And for the actual flight program, the flight part of these are examples of some of our drones. For the actual flight challenge, they have to fly their drone through each of these different obstacles that we make. We're going to go through the ones that we had this year. These are the podiums. We have 4 sets of boxes, 2 of each size, small and large, and they have to try and land on each one. They can land in any order they want, but it has to at least follow this one rule. They have to at least follow this one rule. They have to go from a tall one to a small one, or a small one to a tall one. They can't land on the same size ones. For the next one, we have smaller ones. If you've ever seen a skier going through these little goals, you'll know what these are. Basically, they have these set up to where they have to go through them. Each one of the 4 that all right. Each of the 4 that we have set up, and they have to make it through the complete set in the correct order in order to score. And they can go through any of these as many times as they can to get as many points. The next one we have is tunnel. Here we have hula hoops that are made into cubes and set up into 2 different sections at a time. We have the horizontal section and the vertical section. If they can make it through the horizontal section, they get like 10 points. And if they made it all the way up and out of the vertical section, they get 30 points. This one was one of the hardest ones that we've had because it was just so hard for them to actually kind of maneuver in between them. The next one is the pendulum. We have motorized hoop that's going back and forth as they try and get through it. They can try and go through as many times as they can. And they have 2 minutes and 30 seconds for each of these obstacles. Each team is allowed to have only 2 of their members out on the field at any time. And that is a pilot and a spotter. The pilot's job is to fly the drone. And the spotter goes out and grabs the drone if it crashes, if it breaks, because these are made out of Connects, those break like that. But the point of being Connects is that they snap right back together. You gotta know what you're doing, you gotta know how to get those electrons back on, and you gotta make sure you bring extra prompts. 2 minutes and 30-second flight time. In the actual competition setup, this year we had 4 fields that were set up inside of a netted off area for safety. We had 1 referee in each of the fields. We had a head referee and a safety captain. Now we're going to move on to an interactive part of this. If you could, come over to each of these tables. We're going to have you build a drone.
I mean, you guys can. I'll give you like. You guys can build off that. Basically, when we talk about the kits, which are already set up, that basically put on a square kind of. The ones in our rather than be what? Basically, they're always basically they'll be kind of like this, and then like also basically the second layer of the same in the middle school, we get some PhDs white circles basically, and then in the center they have their flight control, and then going to each of the problems they have their electrons. So basically, you want to have what's in your hand over there. It's sent out, like already pretty much ready to fly, but we encourage them to kind of modify the training design because we want each team to have the same parts and the same last year
They have a really good area. We got a kickoff, and they build area for the competition, and so they have a license built, design build, flight training, all that stuff. So some of our kind of time range, looking at
has
but some schools often just like talk about kids who think it's so bad. Looking at the pieces in here, so we have talk with Ken.
Tell them about yours. We're in that school project where we're building he is trying to wire up a KK2.
So could you guys like how it works?
We have on our website.
No, you're good.
Can you email us the footage?
I believe most of it will be put online, and then it'll go out in like their like blast email or whatever it is. 'Cause right now, we're just taking it, we're dumping it, and then we're handing it over to First.
Okay, so yeah, you won't have to.
Yeah, I won't have the physical footage or whatever. Sorry.
No, the motors are actually parts of the building drone are basketball. So I can help you. That's okay, neither am I. I can find someone who knows.
Yeah, they said that they would post a link on the site, and then in the email it would inform where it is, but they haven't. No one knows like where it's actually going to be yet.
I'll keep on it out.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like messing around here. I'm not on drone team, so I don't know what I'm doing.
So whatever, you just plug it in, see what it does, and then change it.
If any sort of coils cover, the rest of
So then they have like a proper. So and a lot. So what I always like to tell teams is that there's a balance between weight and like durability. Because like if you build like a super heavy thing that's like never gonna crush or anything, then you know it's barely gonna lift off the ground. But then if you build like a light just like this, then you know it's gonna be bumping into stuff and it'll be smaller and it'll very the code. So I mean, yes. You're gonna imagine like if you just like that, you have like square and make it.
It honestly depends. I would say if you're how many teams would you do?
Just one team.
Just one team probably because right now
I mean, the biggest thing we charge $600.
yeah, but the thing is a lot of that is competition. If you were to buy bare bones, registration fees, all of that, that's just extra.
We had a problem with our fail-safe.
So if you're not
kids, when they're panicking, they'll just switch the controllers and continue to do like your fail-safe.
I'd say no, that's 1K. We don't switch to
That would be. So they're fine. Push it off. For our receivers that we're using, 36 teams, there's a problem with where you're usually we're using fail-safe will be that it just continues for us to forward those guys now, so that every receiver basically has a transmitter and from upwards so that play on the field, it won't crash. But it never really got anyone injured because during the competition we actually have a net around the whole field so that the only people in the net are the referees and the actual flag. Right. Where? Atlanta, Georgia. We just send them out.
That's our problem.
So, this main just the power board that says I'm getting power from your battery. These boards. They were lifted up for so usually that's not the big deal. As long as we tie down tight enough, so you have your and that is the receiver control board. So this control board will tell how fast it's going to spin and in what direction. Yeah, we have them all set up so that they're stable. It's not
writing actually on the note, it's like changing values in there. This guy in desk, but we'll change their PID values in the room, while we're in the air. We'll change these each time they the stick is not going to make like 5 meters. So usually they kind of split the team. It's like a project team and then like a design team and like all our offices are made out of except for last the pendulum are made out of legs. So projection, but they could have made that by themselves with PVC and like it's like manual. We need
Shining lights. So that's how that would go. And then what you'd end up doing is there, you connect it to the flight. And that would end up saying to the flight controller, hey, when you go up, it would determine which way.
We need stuff to we need to connect it for your
Keep it straight.
That goes to, this is actually,
And this is how you do the remote.
that's all power.
Okay, so this is going to go down. Hey Zoe, do you have any scissors? Wait, no. So how old is these batteries? How long is battery? The battery there. How long is that battery? Yeah. So how many batteries might it
That's our next step. We had a couple of teams that hit each other. So and it's really interesting. Last year when things fell so we ended up but that's the next step. That's the final part of the presentation. That's what it's about. How do you implement this in your area? And you have to have a high school group or a volunteer group to actually
So last year we saw some awards and you can run teams for example, this right there says you can try and run something on there. I'll be able to
Okay, yeah. That brings me to the other question. We're going to rank you how to use
your power distribution board.
like do you do anything on the back end? Like when we first got him, he was showing me how to adjust the parameters to increase the
So this is a to be continued?
We messed with that a little bit with the kids.
What if we connected it like that? What, you ain't gonna find anything else?
Half of our school, our elementaries are
I wasn't really involved with that stuff, like judging stuff, but I do know about
You can't run batteries well, so it is possible to break the battery. I feel we're
I
I'm telling you, we're dealing with social consequences. Getting all our teachers ready.
The main thing is that starting off in consecutive years. Yeah, so I think each case is but we definitely do make it on the problem. We should that so that next year.
Hello, we are wrapping up the end of our drone building.
Alright, while you guys are wrapping up, I'm going it's the first day that I'm impressed. As I was watching you guys, you did amazing. This is usually for 6 weeks. So in 2015, we had invited 5 FLL teams to kickstart DFG. And the following year, it grew to 20 teams. And now in 2017, we had 36 teams. This is because the kids had so much fun and it spread like wildfire. It's only $600 for the kit of parts. For the kit of parts and the registration, DFG is $300 less than L. So this makes it more affordable and easier for middle school students to adopt this. Essentially, we have students who are mentor students to teacher coaches, who in turn take that knowledge back to their classroom and for after-school activities. This is a cycle. The students, G3, we teach the teachers, and then the teachers teach their teams, and then those students come back to be taught by G3 when they get into high school. We host training sessions in the fall for the teachers, and then bi-weekly flight checks for the students so that they're ready for the competition in the spring. Whew. I feel like I'm yelling at you guys. But continuing, we also have a ebook online that is accessible to anyone who wants to start their own DFG hub.
So in overview, DFG is such an easy program to implement into middle school just because it models FLL. So with a school having an FLL program already, it's so easy to transfer it to DFG because it's during the off season. And you can still keep the same team of kids and they can still keep loving STEM. And it's easy, you need no prior knowledge of drones or like almost no engineering because we teach leadership skills, problem solving skills, communication skills, teamwork skills, which then help them through high school, college, and career. we're giving them a head start on this new and evolving technology in our world, so that when they do go on to college and do go on to a career, they are already leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else with this new technology of drones. And if you have any additional, or if you want any additional information, you can visit our website at G3 Robotics, and you can also email us, please. If you have any, if you want to know anything else, please email us. And so another cool thing is that after 3 years of being or having our program, we actually have students from middle school become FRC students on our team. Like we have Charlie and wherever Alec went, who are actually have actually done BFG and then come back and be ready to do FRC because they've already engaged in this STEP learning. And so now, if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask us. We're all professionals in what we do, so please, any questions, go right ahead.
With the project that they're doing, going out in the community and talking about drones in the community, are you seeing really diversity? Are you starting to see things repeating itself, or you know what I mean? Like,
each of the projects that they do are pretty unique. Like, one of the ones that we've had this year was how they saw drones being used, like how they could be used helping with pollination, like bees. And I remember one year we had one with like how we helped Marta working with them too, and like wildfires and firemen.
so you're seeing lots of diversity.
There's a lot of diversity.
It's not, okay, great.
And some of the ideas are so great. I said, boy, I wish I could invest in this.
Yeah, pitching, right?
Yeah.
Companies.
Our year, when we went, we actually got, we never actually went through with it, but we got approached by the American Heart Association because they created a drone that would fly a defibrillator and to rescue areas to help people with like a heart attack in rural areas they don't have access. We got approached by the American Heart Association, but we never we'll follow through with it.
That is awesome.
And that's in middle school.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So do any of like the kind of research on helping the community, do those ever come to fruition? Like I just heard about the American Heart Association, but have you started to like implement the kind of research you've done to help the community impact the community yet?
We personally, as our drone team, haven't done that. I'm not sure if there was any that continued on with the project.
Yeah, some of the suggestions we made for the Marta Police Department, they were implementing, but we can't talk about it, they won't tell us. They said thank you. And we'll go beyond that.
That's a good question, though. That is something that we could actually follow up on with these teams who have been through the program. It's a great question.
Have you guys tried to put sensors on the drone to maybe do some science with, or sort of drone sensing?
Not really. We have kind of this other thing that we're doing as just our drone thing.
Right.
It's a UAS for STEM competition that we're going into, and we're using it to like search and rescue.
One thing that we would like to do is put infrared scanner on, and I've been trying to get them to loan us an infrared scanner. They're about $3,000, and they haven't done it yet. I don't understand why. But we would like to, we just haven't had the opportunity.
And you currently have a plan to sustain the competition. Like I heard that you got a really big Motorola grant, but you have plans to make more of those to help expanding it.
Like from year to year, we have growing like exponentially, like doubling. We do have in mind what we're going to do. We have the How to Run a Drone competition manual, and we're trying to outreach to other teams, like FRC teams, to start it there. We're going to Motorola each year, and I believe we have a sponsor with Clorox.
Yes.
That we're always trying to look for more opportunities. Definitely.
I have a question. This is actually a question for the audience. Does anybody in here representing a team or a school district who might be interested in seeing this program as existing actually in your school system? Not just as a middle school team, but as a programmatically, like, are you interested in seeing this program in your area? So one of the reasons why we're here doing this, we're not just here to brag about what we've been doing. One of the reasons we're here is to hopefully inspire you to say, I want to grow this program in my own area. How do I do that? And so please follow up with us. Please give us your contact information. And the goal is to start what we're calling DFG hubs in other parts of the country, so that this is available to more kids. Even in Georgia, we're looking at right now our Atlanta hub, the one that's based at Grady High School with this team. We've pretty much reached capacity. We're now developing partnerships with the 100 Black Men of Atlanta, the DeKalb County School System, which is the school system one county over from us, and we need them to now take over and start their own programs in their own areas so that we can continue this doubling trend, because we can continue to support about 36 teams, but if we want to take it to 72, we need partners, and the people in this room can be those partners. I'm Andrew Nichols, by the way. I'm the head coach of G3.
And here's the sign up computer.
Well, that's for, we'd love you to just put your information in there. It's just a Google form, and, so that we can send you anything you'd like. The students would really like comments back so that they can continue to improve as presenters and as teachers. So anything that you guys wouldn't mind putting in there in the way of feedback would help them a lot.
I have a question. Okay, we don't have FRC yet, we're FLL. Is it better to develop the high school team first before we would then, because this is your outreach for FRC, right? So how will that be, maybe coaches, maybe you can reply on this one, I'm not sure who, but it's like, we don't want to do it, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to end up being teacher driven rather than, I love it that students are student driven, right? So any advice on that?
Just an observation, I don't know if it's going to help or not. Are y'all going to try FRC? Is that the goal?
We want to, yes.
Okay, do you have the money?
Yes.
You do?
We do.
Okay, FRC is a great program. If you do this now, and then when you do your FRC, your first year, write all this up, and you're in line for the Rookie All-Star Award.
Okay, so.
Just a hint.
So this is okay to go ahead and push forward?
Yes, you can go ahead and start on this.
I would say piloting it while you're still just an elementary school or a middle school team, piloting it with just a few teams in your area, having a small event, that can definitely be something that's parent and teacher driven in the short term. And then as your organization grows into the FRC program and you start graduating middle school students into high school who have experienced it at the middle school level, they're going to be ready to start standing up and being the student leaders and starting to see that explosive growth. You won't be able to get that explosive growth until you've got the high school kids to be the people driving it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with 5 teams competing. In fact, that's ideal when you're starting out. I would not try to go for the 36 like we have. It's be disastrous. Go with small. You don't have to have that many people to put it on. Work out the bugs, and then you get the high school kids, as Andrew was saying, then you will grow. You will grow. There's no question about that.
Yeah, they can start it with 5 teams now. Okay, it starts small. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 kids turned into 360 in under 3 years. So, starting with 20 informs much.
Thank you.
And we'll try to support you any way we can.
Again, if you want to follow up with any more information or just your contact, we have this right here. We're going to have this over there on that table. Just talk to me. Get your information in.